Well, we were just told by the Enterprise Rent-A-Truck guy over there that there's something on our front porch. Ah, here we go. Awesome. Yeah, baby. I think we're here. So they're finally here. I gotta say, they packed them real lovely, of course. Hopefully they packed them better at the factory. But they definitely look like legitimate Carters. That was one thing I was a little worried about. When they took a little long time to show up, I was hoping they ended up being like knockoffs of some kind of crap. But they're 4601 HPs. And the reason we're going back with the Carters, a couple reasons. One, makes it easier to install. Two, we really never had a problem with the pumps themselves. It's just that the way they were listed as being a minimum of 6 pounds, they were not. So, and since, you know, like we've had them for 5 or 6 years, 4 years, whatever it was been. So, with the new pumps, there's a lot of information out there that wasn't out there before when we originally looked at the 4600s. So, let's throw one of these off to the side here. See what comes in the box. Well, looks like we got the pump. Lots of fittings. Some instructions. Well, a little homage to Steve 1989. Let's get this out on a tray. Nice! So, what we have here is our Carter 4601s. Gave us 2 nice fittings. I do find it funny that the plugs they put in, lucky enough they had it wrapped in a plastic bag so we don't have to worry about anything being inside of it. Gave us some hose clamps. Gave us these nice little rubber grommets that go on top of the pump here that isolates it from the bracket. You've all heard them run. Could you imagine without these actual rubber grommets in there what they'd sound like? It'd be like somebody was using a hammer drill on the side of the hull. Comes with nice hose clamps. Got some washers. We'll be replacing those with stainless steel just to get rid of them. Of course, your screws and your nuts to hold your wires on. And we have some attachments to the body. They give you 3 bolts for mounting to a body panel in a car or something. We use stainless lag bolts that actually lag it to the stringer so they don't go anywhere. An assortment of washers and hose clamps and such. Even give you a couple ends. But you know, this one actually would work in one piece. It would, you could attach it and then attach it to your body panel because all you need is a ground. But we have actually separate grounds and positives running, so we won't be using a lot of this stuff, to be honest. We're going to compare this bracket to the bracket that's in it, and I about venture to say the same bracket is in the boat now. And that's another reason why we went with these Carters, to be honest. I mean, if unbolting and rebolting in place, not having to change brackets would be a big plus. But if the brackets are weaker, trust me, they'll go. They'll go in a heartbeat, and we'll replace it with that one. So, we have some things to put together. We got to get some ends in. We definitely use those. And as you can see, that's why we are using the 7/16 inch line. And there should be no restrictions this time around, that's for sure. And with these 16-pound pumps, these regulators are going to be doing their jobs. Alright, one way we know we're going to have to get rid of some stuff is by using this simple magnet. Hope it don't screw with the camera. How about this? Oh, no. Nope, 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 oh, nope, nope. Huh? No, they don't. They're better, but they're not. So, we're going to find everything we can to replace this stuff. I mean, some of these pieces actually have to go on there because they're designed for those pieces, but the majority of washers and such, we're going to go with our trusty giant box of stainless steel stuff. So, we're going to go ahead and get on that. But first I'm going to take a sip of the nectar of the gods here. Ah, nice. Turn on some tunes. Sadly, you all won't be able to hear any of the music. I got a YouTube strike for a copyright infringement because I countered their initial claim of a copyright infringement about a video that I made about a squirrel. Yes, the little furry animal. And in the background, on a radio station, an FM radio station in Maryland, which I documented the time it was being played and everything, there was a snippet of a Rush song in the background. And first they said I could use the video or use the music, but they would get all the income from it. And not that I'm making any income from YouTube, but I found that a little absurd, being it was about a squirrel. So I appealed their decision, their original decision, and when they came back with an appeal, they told me up front that this would count as a strike. Well, they ruled against me and they counted it as a strike. So I only got 2 left, so there won't be any more music in the videos unless I just totally give up ownership of them. But that's what we're going to do from now on. We're just going to have to cut it out or use a snippet so small that they can't identify it as being a copyright infringement. So not even on the radio. This is killing me. This is truly killing me. So, because, you know, I'm a music fanatic. I mean, I like everything from a K-pop group of Twice all the way to my latest CD was, like I said on a couple videos ago, was Hailstorm. So, and I love having music on, and as they know, I got a nice stereo system up here in the garage just to make sure we got great music. And now we have to keep everything off, including the radio, in case something gets picked up in the background and we wouldn't be able to reshoot it. And if we can't reshoot it, you know, a lot of this stuff is a one-time item. So if we can't reshoot it and we can't use the video, actually use the video, we're really screwed. So, all right, now we're going to do some fast forward as I turn on some music here, and you guys won't be able to get to hear it, sadly, but let's go. Well, we're not above admitting mistakes here. I looked at these, thought, yeah, gas tape. And then I kind of started to thread one and had some little bit of an issue. Nothing, it just wasn't like, you know, sitting in like it would have if they were meant to have tape. So I pulled out the handy dandy instructions and looked at it, and actually these are Dryseal fittings. And they don't require tape. And I'm not a big fan of these things, to be honest, because it almost feels like you're cross-threading. I mean, there, I've made contact with the first thread. That's as hard as I can go, almost a full turn, and I'll need a wrench. And in my world, that usually means you've cross-threaded something. But these are Dryseals, and if I put Teflon tape in there, it'll be too much, and it actually could split the housing. So you may want to look at your instructions. Alright, back to work here. Well, again, I really hate these fittings. I mean, I guess they work, but, you know, they don't bottom out. All you do is you feel like you're cross-threading. And like I said, I hate these fittings, but if they work, they're fine. But I mean, if I didn't have to work with them, I'd be totally happy with it. Well, pretty much that one's done. Let's get off to the next one. But first, we're going to sort these out real quick. get rid of what we want and keep what we need. Get them all in this plastic bag. So, all right. So we sorted out what we wanted to replace here. We've got these guys. They're going to stay. There's the special. They're really special thread line there. I've got an assortment of bolts, and I can't find a single one to match up any of those. So we're stuck with them. But we had these bottoms that go underneath it here. We're going to replace them with these guys. We got our stainless here replacing our lock washers. We got our stainless here that's going to replace these top pieces that go on top of these. So it's going to be surrounded by stainless, but the nuts are going to have to stay. And it's just, I've been through these nut hunts before, and sometimes they're real easy, and sometimes with this crazy stuff, it goes on forever. And the other one's been in there for 5 years, and I assume we probably used the same nuts on them. And if I didn't, and I actually have stainless on them, I'll actually take those off and put them on this one. But at the moment, we're just going to swap out what we can, what we got in stock, because, you know, in a brackish water environment, things will melt, and they tend to do that around here. So we are going to replace what we can. But now we're just going to dump these in the plastic bag. All these extra guys over here, that's just extras. Nice little nuts and washers to use on a future project there. But let's get the other one done. We're going to keep all our extras here in this box. I know we're not going to use fenders or, you know, fender mount pieces and stuff like that. But one, if I have to return them for some reason, I got all the original pieces. And two, I've learned a lesson a long, long time ago. You absolutely never throw away anything till the job is complete and you've had it for a week. So let's get it done here. Well, with that done, we may have to go look at some radar, because within the little time it took to put those fuel pumps together, it's gotten quite unfriendly out. Well, I'm glad I did that, because it don't look like we're doing anything at the moment. We're right here, as you can see. We have rain moving in, and it's moving in fast. That's about the last hour and a half cycle they got going on here, and we're about to get hit. So glad I didn't uncover that boat. Maybe later, we'll see how it pans out. These storms like this around here, they tend to do this, but because of the mountains, they just tend to keep forming on the other side of them, and then they just dump on us all day. So we'll see how it works out. Maybe this is just a passing squall here real quick. We'll see. Huh. I come out, and it starts. And what really doesn't help matters much is when you don't put your pole up, because it's not supposed to rain. not only are we a slave to the weather, but we just actually got a warning from our kids' school here, warning us that they're being kept at school because of tornado warnings. Starting to think if I just don't go outside, it'll be beautiful day after beautiful day and everybody else can enjoy it. Tornado warnings. Yay. It's been a great spring so far, I gotta tell you. Alrighty. If you like and subscribe to us, the goodwill will chase all the evil raindrops away. Okay. 1, 2, 3. The body. They give you 3 nice bolts with a nut on the other side and another locking washer. Nice thing about these bolts, really isn't. So, and then just body bolts. Let's do that again.